Hello, everyone. Happy New Year and welcome to my creative diary. I am Marisha, and today I will be using a watercolor technique to make this rose card. So let's get started. Products featured in today's video are by Simon Says Stamp, Detailed Rose Craft Die, Hey Love Sentiment Stamp, and Craft Die. To begin, I'm going to start watercoloring, so I'm using Tim Holtz Distress Watercolor Cardstock and Distress inks. I'm using Picked Raspberry and Mowed Lawn. So today I am experimenting using this silicone mat. Normally when I watercolor, I use a clipboard to hold my paper down. So I purchased this mat and I want to see how it's going to work out for me. So I went ahead and off camera, I cut this rose and I'm using it as a guide for me to paint my silhouette. Now, if you are new to watercoloring and you're interested in, taking up this craft, I encourage you to do so. However, I just want to let you know to not get bogged down with the process. I know there's different techniques out there, and at times it can be overwhelming, but that is not the purpose of crafting. The purpose is to be in an atmosphere where you can just enjoy yourself and just have fun creating whatever you're doing. I've said it once and I will repeat it over and over again until I say it about 1,000,000 times. You are your own individual, and that should be a reflection of your work. Okay, a lot of times we'll compare our projects with other crafters, and don't do that. Just enjoy yourself. Just enjoy the process and the journey. Okay, let this be an outlet for you to enjoy yourself creatively. I am almost done with my rose silhouette. I am just going back over it, just touching up a few little spots. And it looks like I am almost done. I really love how this is turning out. Now that I'm done, I'm going to bring in my heat tool just to quicken the drying process. Next up, it is time to watercolor my leaves. So I brought in my leaf that I die cut, and I'm trying to figure out, okay, where am I going to position these leaves at? And guys, it happens sometimes. Sometimes you will sketch or have a idea in your head, and then when you put it on paper, it's like, okay, no, I think I want to do something different. And guess what? It is perfectly okay. Well, it looks like I have come to a decision where I want to place my leaf. So basically, I am repeating the same process as I have done with my rose, and I'm using this leaf as my guide to paint my silhouette. Now that I'm done with my first leaf, it is time to position my second one. So once again, just repeating the same process as before. Now that I'm done with my silhouette, I want to add a little bit of pizzazz to this panel. So I went back to pick raspberry and decided to add some splatter to it. Now it's time to clean up and move on to the next step. Next up, it is time to stack my rose and my leaves. So I'm bringing in my craft tweezers and my spray adhesive. Now I'm going to be upfront with you regarding this spray adhesive. For one, it is super sticky. I have used it before in the past, but it was for bigger projects, so I didn't need to be cautious of it, getting on my hands or anything, but it did get on my hands and it took me forever to get it off. So I used Dawn and warm water, and after scrubbing for about 10-15 minutes, it came off. Number two, the fumes can be a little bit much, at least for me. I don't know if you can handle it or not, but I'm just giving you a heads up. And then finally, I suggest using a old shoebox or cardboard or something to spray it on, because it did get all over my mat and it was just so sticky and it took me a while to scrub it off. Now that I've added my leaves and my rose to my panel, I'm just trying to figure out where I want to place my sentiment. This card was initially supposed to be a vertical card, but I just flipped it and made it horizontal. Now it's time for some embossing. So I'm using this chunky gold embossing powder that I purchased from Michael's, and I am going to take my embossing ink pad and just rub it along the outside of my panel. Nothing fancy, nothing in particular, just rubbing it along the sides. And then I'm going to apply my embossing powder, tap off the excess, and then apply heat. Next up, it is time to add my sentiment. So I'm just looking over the card just to figure out where do I want to position everything. Next up, I am bringing in my Misty stamping tool, and I am using Lawn Fawn's Black Licorice to stamp my sentiment. Now I am bringing in my foam adhesive strips, and I'm just going to cut them down and apply them to the back of my love sentiment and then apply it to my panel. Now it's time to bring in my card base, which is an A2 size card, sized at 4¼ by 5½. And I'm going to take my adhesive tape and apply it to the back of my panel. And then I'm going to apply my panel to my card base. That's it. I'm going to give it a good press down. And guys, if you want to add some Nouveau drops or some stickles or some sequins, you can add that to this card. But technically, I am all done. And I just love how it turned out. It is so cute. Just sending you some love. And guys, I want to thank you so much for tuning in today. I do appreciate you. Do not forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Click the thumbs up button and the notification bell and leave a comment below. All of the details to the products that I've used in this video will be linked on my blog at thediarybellrose.com. Until next time, please take care.